fellow homebrewers, and welcome to another episode of Homebrew Wild and Cheap. It's been about a month since I did my last video. I know, it's naughty, but basically I've been doing stuff that you've already seen, or basically I don't want you to see yet in homebrewing. So a long time ago, I think it was nearly a year now actually, yeah, nearly a year, I did a part 1 of the turbo yeast. That was it, yeah, turbo yeast. Turbo wash. You know, using the turbo yeast that creates like 20 to 23% alcohol. And basically I bought this yeast and I put it in, and I did it the same as I do all the other times I use turbo yeast, but it was a slightly different packet and it came from China. Chinese turbo yeast. It was a blue packet and I normally use the gold packet, and it was supposed to be the gold packet, but it didn't ferment properly. It got stuck at around 18%, and then the excess sugar, which was about 4%, 5%, was just left in there, and it didn't do anything, and I was quite annoyed and poured it away and didn't do part 2. So I bought another batch, and it again was the same thing. It wasn't the gold packet, it was a blue packet, so exactly the same as the first time. It got kind of stuck, but this time it did ferment to about 18%, and then it's got the other like 2 or 3% sugar left in it. So it's not perfect, but I have 5 gallons of the stuff, and you know, Chinese turbo yeast is a bit more funny. Obviously it's more temperature sensitive than the other stuff, so I won't be using that again. I'll be making sure I find a good supplier of the gold version of turbo yeast instead of the Chinese one. But basically this is part 2 of the turbo yeast. Yay! Which I could have done in the first place because it saved me throwing 5 gallons of beautiful sweet alcohol down the toilet. So this is the burnt mead, which I'll be doing a review of independently. But it's dry as a bone, got caramel and vanilla tones, and taste the honey. Awesome! So I've been enjoying the spoils of my homebrewing off camera because it's shameful. Oh yeah. So the video I'm doing today is not the bottling video as such, because you know how to bottle. I've done it in many other videos, and the bottling videos are kind of boring because it's me doing the same thing either into a gallon one or into 6 bottles, and you know how to do it by now. So I'm doing something a little different. So I've taken about 3 gallons, as you can see, and left 2 in here. I haven't taken off the yeast because I don't need to. For this particular version, we're going to be playing with it a bit more. So I've been gifted apples. These are apples, if you don't know. And there is about 1 gallon of apples, which I've cut up and checked because they were windfall apples, and it's been quite a wet year, so get worms and all sorts. So I've been checking them, cutting out the rubbish, and there is this. It's about, I don't know, 45, 50 apples, yeah, all being told. And I got gifted them, which is awesome, because free stuff. I love free stuff. And I still have, you know, this is quite a lot of apples still. And they're all from the same trees, and they're all pretty much red with, you know, little blemishes in them. So you can juice them and stuff. We'll be doing some cider and some wine with it. But I'm just playing around with the turbo stuff. So I've got 2 gallons of the turbo yeast. Right here, I've got really clean hands because I've been sterilising. And what we're going to do is I'm going to add in, funny enough, my gallon of Checkton apples, which, funny enough, you can see them going a little oxidised brown, but that's fine because that adds colour into the end result of the alcohol, and we're just infusing it with the flavours of apples. So, you know, I didn't really want to go through each individual bit of me concentrating, doing that, having a drink. And so, you know, I'll show you it like this. And it's fairly simple. We're going to hopefully get some of the red tint, and we're going to get the brown from the apples, because that will infuse the flavours, and the sweetness that is left in here will aid in this. So it'll be kind of a sweet apple schnapps. Something close to schnapps, without it being, because it will be a different flavour because we haven't fermented with the apples, we're adding them after. Just putting it out there. If you ferment the apples and mix cider or apple wine with it in, it will taste different to if you add it in separately. just what I found. So I got my 2 gallons of loveliness. Looking pretty tasty. So here is a lovely drum. Open it up, if I can find the right bit. The inside's sterile, the outside doesn't matter. So it's kind of cloudy, as you can see, but it's going to get a lot worse in there. And I'm going to take my gallon of apples, because this container holds a gallon, or my 45 to 50 apples, depending on what you can get hold of. And we're going to dump them in. Oh yeah. And that's pretty simple so far. So we are back. Belgium. Anyway, so the apples are in, and we're going to submerge them. Give them a whisk around in here. And it actually smells pretty good. I mean, it smells quite vodka-y. Very strong alcohol, mild sweetness, and apples. And because this is a high alcohol, once these are all submerged, they're not going to rot, and the alcohol will preserve them. So we can eat them after. Oh yeah, alcoholic apples. 2 for the price of 1! I'm way too excited. Maybe I shouldn't have had that extra couple of glasses of mead on top of everything else. So, we've got our things in, they've all been coated. And I've got a plate. It's a lovely clean plate, both sides, and dump it in. Push everything down. The idea is to try and make sure that everything is pretty submerged in here. Let's give it a try. Alcoholic. Sweet, but alcoholic. So now what we're basically going to be doing is every day I'm going to come back here, take this off, and push it down, and I'm going to be doing this for at least 2 weeks. Now, you can just add apple juice in, but we've got real apples, and I need to use them because I hate to see things go to waste. So I'm going to put on the lid, and in a week's time we'll come back and have a look and see how it is. Well, I'll do a camera version of it, and then in 2 weeks' time this should be about ready, hopefully. And we'll have some tasty apple schnapps, basically. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and sorry it's taken me so long to do some, get my other things sorted, but I'm back and we're doing videos and it's going to be awesome. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers guys!